Welcome, 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 welcome. We're going to get started here in just 1 second. I'm going to go through a brief sound check on the stream to make sure everything's coming through correctly. Okay. Pete, Shudu, will you guys do a sound check, please?
Sound
GM,
check.
say all good.
Okay,
Coming through good?
let's see.
Oh shoot, I still can't get over your white paper in the background. That's so cool.
Yeah, it's very sick. Let me grab it. It's very sick.
I need
Okay,
one.
yeah,
Nice
we're
and framed.
sounding nice. We're nice and copacetic on the audio, fellas.
Send it. Let's go.
Let's fucking go. Well, let's kick this show
Probably the
off.
only
Let's
thing
get it
that
on the
makes me happy.
road. Let's go ahead and get started here. Boys, ready? All right. Welcome, welcome. We are here with another Liquidium Lunch Club for you guys. It's good to see you all. Just getting started here. Had a brief sound check. We've had an interesting last few weeks since we've seen you guys last. We've been in New York. We've been at ETH Denver. We've been all over the place. But first, since it is the lunch club, I do have to do my due diligence and ask. Pete, Shudu, do you guys have any lunch with you today? It is actually noon Eastern time, so it's appropriate for lunch.
No,
Didn't have any breakfast, so I had to like shoot is empty. I didn't have any breakfast, so I had to scarf something down before I got up. I didn't want to like eat a full meal on lunch club, but I had a salad. Salad is yummy.
Ooh, solid.
Other than
Yeah.
espressos, you can't go wrong.
No, you can't go wrong with no espresso, baby. So we got Shooter's dry over
Never.
there. You just got some breakfast in you. And I'm gonna be honest with you, this is the first time I'm dry over here. I ain't got nothing going on over here.
Hey,
Usually I got something going on.
that's rare.
Yeah, man. It's one of those days just
It's
been
usually a drink.
locked
That's
in. Yeah,
usually
usually
what
at
it
least the drink. I might be able to summons up the pen, but it's been one of those days just locked in. Was in the OKX space like right before this. So yeah, we're just keeping it moving today, baby.
Mm,
Keeping it strong. So actually, I did touch on our,
that's
our
true.
recent travelings. Pete, let's hear from your angle, man. How was New York, bro?
Yeah, so I got to attend the what's it called NYC Bitcoin conference. Pretty normal branded name and a pretty normal branded conference. It was a good time. It was a good time, but the event was organized by Anthony Pompliano. I don't know if anybody
Mm-hmm.
knows who he is. Kind of big in the Bitcoin side of things,
The pop.
and the yeah, big pump. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
It was cool. It was cool. A lot of really interesting people were there talking about cool things. Some senators came on. Senator Alumnus was there. Cynthia Alumnus from Wyoming. She's the
Love
one
her.
pushing the Bitcoin strategic reserve for the state. Yeah, she's pretty cool. That was pretty cool, but the experience was pretty fun. It was really traditional conference. Like everybody was in suits. We were connecting on LinkedIn, not Telegram. So nobody wanted to take a selfie with me too. The normal thing is or pretty normal thing. You connect, you take a selfie. I asked this one dude. He was like, "What? No, come on. How am I gonna remember you, man?"
For real.
But
What's
yeah, it
COVID?
was funny. It was funny. I was it was funny. I was in like a leather jacket, like rugged and torn up a little bit. Trying to go full like founder appearance, but it's just I was sticking out a little bit. I'll tell you that much.
I
But still a good
fucking
time.
love it.
Everybody was nice. Everybody was there for Bitcoin. So but it was funny. It was just a funny experience to me. I was like, wow, different side of things.
Yeah. No, absolutely. You got the you got
Yeah.
the opposite side of the coin than the usual
Yeah.
experience there. That's dope though. A lot of the
For real,
the
dude. I
big
was feeling
heads were
like
in the room.
FOMO. Yeah, big heads there, but I was still feeling FOMO for you guys in Denver. I was like, oh, I want to be in Denver right now.
Yeah, Denver definitely was lit. It definitely is what you make of it, as anything is. But for me, like, having exposure to people and projects and things like that in different ecosystems, it was a nice thing to have. Like, some of my friends from ETH and some of my friends from Solana and some of my friends from the core Bitcoin community, some of my friends from the Bitcoin L2 space, like everybody was there for the for the most part, maybe not everybody, but a lot of the to-do people or the homies that we see in a lot of other places are where they're chilling. You know, we had the Magic Eden dinner, which was crazy for us because I got to connect with a guy who is, let's just say he's in with the Robinhood wallet. So that was an interesting conversation as they're interested in bringing more on-chain aspects to their wallet. That's what I'll say there. Um, I did a performance which was dope. Bitcoin Starship's first IRL performance. I got to meet some of my friends that I've known for a long time online for the first time in person, such as Nomi, which was really dope. Went to Meow Wolf twice, which was awesome. Pete, you would have loved that. Some trippy art. It's like 30,000 square
Ooh,
foot warehouse, and they make like 5 different worlds or something, 4 or 5 different worlds, and it's like
what?
super vast. Like, some have like 3-story like towers you can go up the stairs into and have like the look over the entire sector that is like super in depth and like trippy, well done. It was dope as hell. Went to that twice, once with Jay and once with Nomi. So I think you definitely would have enjoyed that.
Fire.
But all in all, man, the
Yeah,
trip
that sounds
was
dope.
definitely peak in terms of doing the business side of things, but also having a mesh of the more artsy side of things too.
Nice. Super cool. The what you did was super awesome. What was the event that it was for? I wasn't sure.
Which one?
When you did the performance, or you did perform
Oh
twice, didn't you?
yeah, the one I performed at was actually the Magic Eden in Dog Party. So
Nice, nice, nice.
Runiverse, Funky Bit, and a whole bunch of other sponsors aside from Magic Eden put that one on. BitLayer, I believe. Yeah, because I got an orange helmet. The BitLayer helmets that they have at the events, the black and the orange ones. They gave me an orange one after the concert. I didn't know how the hell I was gonna get that back, but
Those were
I managed it.
so cool, bro. That
Yeah.
so cool. Heavy duty too. Like not nothing cheap.
No, those are nice helmets. I'm gonna wear that shit snowmobiling next year, bro.
That'll be great for the selfies, bro.
you,
Get some good shots on there.
you ain't lied. Oh, one thing I will say too about ETH Denver was really dope. It was a lot of you know builder first sentiment, which you would expect at ETH Denver, but um, even for like the scaling solutions for Bitcoin, um, the pitching and the presentations of things were less less so program trying to get money, like they used to be, kind of more pitching to the VCs. But these talks that we attended were very much focused on like how do we build the best thing for the user. So I thought that was pretty dope to see that shift in real time of focusing on now having people build these things and be a part of it instead of having to pitch for the money side of things. So yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting there. And also
Oh,
ran into Bob Bodley, of course, and of course we had to talk about Odin Fun and everything going on there.
That's hype though. That's hype. That shows a good growth in the market for sure, you know. Took a lot of time to build, people raised, built, and now it's time to pitch the users, grow the user base. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's nice to hear. It's nice to hear for sure.
Do do you think the event was pretty like packed, I guess, like as far as
Mm,
you know, because things are kind of heating up. I feel like it really does just ride with the price. Price is
yeah.
down. It's not
Um,
always a lot of people. You know what I mean?
right. I would say it really depended on the event. Like some were more packed for sure, like shoulder to shoulder. For example, like we owns or Wallet Connects event that was like real packed in. The Magic Eden dinner was real packed in. But you know, some of the other venues were maybe too big for the size of the event being held. It was a little more modest. Um, but all in all, it was definitely a lot of people there. Whether it was Bitcoin or whether it's like ETH or whether it was Sol, whether it was people building their own solutions, there definitely were a lot of builders out there, and it was dope because everyone's just having these sidebar conversations, over a beer or out there at the smoke outside, and everyone's just talking shit, like talking fucking the talk you need to hear, not always about the partying and this, that, and the third. It was a lot of focus on like networking and people trying to make things make sense for their
Yeah.
projects. It was really dope.
Yep. Yeah, that's the one thing. Conferences really are like, you know, all fun aside, they really are so beneficial for the individual, for the teams, for the community, you know, for the ecosystem. Like it really does just push things forward. The amount of brainstorming together is just incredible. And like seeing that every time is just so awesome. You know what I mean? Like you really do see like, oh wow, these people make connections. These people talked about this. Some ideas came up here. It's super useful. If anybody in the audience, if you've never gone, you know, I know they can be expensive. Try to find ones like near you, but they're just so beneficial, honestly. Like even if you're not like building, even if you're just like, you know, a member of the ecosystem, it can be still so useful to see all that. And you never know, you know, maybe you get wrapped into something if that's what you're looking forward to. But yeah,
Yeah.
conferences are the alpha, that's for sure. IRL is
IRL is
the
the
alpha.
alpha for sure, for sure. And on that
Mm.
on that note, with the general sentiment, um, being high IRL, things like that, um, it's definitely in the face and despite of any, market and price fluctuations, things like that. What they say, builders gonna build. So it was dope to see the unwavering sentiment there as well. And I think that's a great jump off point for Mr. Shudu to come and drop us some knowledge on what's been going on with the analytics over the last few weeks, man. What's been going on from your end? How you been?
How's the market looking, Shudu? Tell us.
Uh, GM. It's looking like shit. Not for Liquidium, just the market. The Rose market is, I don't know. I need to find a better word. I feel like I need to reinvent English because I don't want to swear, but I mean, goddamn, it's not looking good. That's all I can say. Um, so I'm
Tell
going
us
to
how
share
it
my
is, man.
screen.
Give the
Like,
numbers.
at least I'm saying it in front of my boss, so he's not gonna fire me. It's just looking like shit. That's what it's looking like shit. Um,
But not Liquidium.
so, no, not Liquidia. I'm gonna start off with something small here, just to, because I know a lot of people will think when you go to Best in Slot and other places, you think the market is recovering. Like if you had to look at today, you'd think, you know what, we're looking good. I'm gonna come to the analytics specifically for Liquidium, but secondary is always very good indicator. If you go there, would look at this today, you'll see Runes token, 5 BTC volume, and all this stuff. You think, oh, okay, we're on the come up here. But truth of the matter, it's a little less positive than this because, for example, if I go to the top token for today for Runes token, and you just look from this point going up, that whole 5 Bitcoin actually doesn't exist. It's all wash trade. So it's a wash trade and a 120 kilo, 20,000 sets trade, because you can see this address they keep sending to each other going up. That address sells, then buys, that sells, that buys, that sells, that buys, sells, buys, sells, buys. Watch trade. Oh no, no, not this last one, but up until here. So you know there's someone just making fake volume using OKX because fees they are free. So again, the reason I'm saying this is that when you look at a number like this, which says today we have done 7 BTC, I've already seen 5 BTC of it is wash trade. So now you're sitting at 1.9. Hopefully, if you go through this, you don't find some more wash trade. So the market is sitting in a very bad place. However, even though that's the case, we've seen quite confident, especially last week, we did a recovery. This is our bottom in a very, very long time, just because of where the space is. And we actually started to recover and we saw more volume coming. I think it was about 10% more volume compared to the week before. Already this week we're sitting at a good place again to surpass last week by at least 5%. So we are seeing some lending activity, which is internally it's very, very good. And this is also because even though the market is not active, there also hasn't been an awful lot of selling pressure for a lot of top runes. I'll just show you here, not here. I'll just show you here. Now, if you look at this chart here, and I'm just going to switch this to some rune stuff. We'll go down here, hoping everyone can hear me. Case loading. Okay, there you go. That's, everything goes slow. Whenever I join this stream, everything of mine just has to go like, I don't want to load fast anymore. Okay, here you go.
We,
Here you go.
we gotta throttle you somehow. You're too big otherwise.
So, don't forget, don't mind this period collection loans. It's because I literally just copy and pasta this and replace the values with like CV. So that is actually not what that is. But however, what this is doing is ignore that part because I just did this for the stream. What this is looking at the CV. So CV is how volatile the flow is. For the past 7 days, I've got filters. So you will see here that for the top collection, 3.21, that's very, very stable. So you'll see that, for example, for the past 7 days, dog is quite stable. Pups is quite okay. Anything below 15 is quite okay. ARSIC is just above that. But you will see that for a lot of OG rune collections, a lot of community, the flow has not been jumping up and down by that much difference. However, stuff like Satoshi Rune Title, the flow has just been everywhere. I think it's probably like up 90-something% today. So the volatility is either positive or negative. But also there's also very few trades. So if you go there and very little holders. But yeah, for the OG tokens, you will see here that again, ignore these words here. Should have edited them. The flow volatility in terms of CV has been quite stable. So that indicates that yes, there's no volume, but there's also not a lot of huge selling pressure on the DEXs. This must be mindful. This is on the DEXs if we're looking at like the OG collection and stuff. So that is good. And here you can even look here that there's a lot of lenders who are willing to take a risk for tokens like dog because the 7 BTC available for borrowers to borrow against. 1 BTC has been taken. Again, there's like 200 offers for dog, 50 active loans and stuff like that. So the space is in a place where people are quite confident, and you can see very low utilization of dog, which is a huge opportunity. RFIC, the OG collections that we're just talking about right now, you can see they're sitting at a pretty good position. So that in a sense says, okay, we're not doing great, but we are not going worse, which for me is pretty cool. However, as I'm speaking about loans here, I do want to bring this point up. Something. Okay. Anyway, does anyone have a question before I continue? I feel like
No, continue.
I don't know. I don't even know what's good. Something weird that's been going on is everyone knows we launched instant loans. You can see here, instant loans. Nice part is that when you look at them, you would confuse them for the new Ordinals called multi-term collections, because we have multi-terms now for instant loans. What's been quite interesting to see is that there are people who are actually still mega borrowing on their old manual loans. And this is mind-boggling because as a borrower, the terms are the same. So it's not like you benefit by using one over the other. This is the exact same thing you can see here. So you probably want to use instant loans because right now, if you borrow here, you'll get your collateral right now. You'll get your BTC right now and you'll submit your collateral. But if you were to do it manual, you would have to still wait for a lender to countersign. But even though that's the fact, we are still seeing a lot of activity on the manual loans, for example, something like dog, which again, this, like you can see, this makes no sense because everyone should just be doing this. There are quite a few people doing this, but literally it's a no-brainer right now. Even if you're a lender, it makes no difference. It saves you the job of countersigning. Uh, so that's just something that has been going on, and I'll just say, switch the other way around. And again, just to say the space is in a comfortable place. We have not been seeing massive amount of liquidations. You can see here that default loans, you can see here it's just been going down, which is very, very good because this is what you want, and you want repaid loans to increase, but they've been stable, so we're not complaining over there. Again, this is just something we've noticed that yes, the space is not volume is not massive, but it's not dumping further. I think that's probably the point. I James, do you have a question for me while I think about what I was about to say? I think I was about to say something.
No. Yeah, go for it, Pete.
I got something. I was just gonna input. It's crazy to see, like you said, that still the borrowers are still really active on manual. Because the thing is with instant loans, like once the loan starts, the flow is essentially the same. Like where the collateral's escrowed, still using DLCs. So it's kind of interesting for borrowers. Maybe we need to like communicate that a bit more. That once it starts for the borrowers, everything is literally the exact same. Instant loans is really different for the lenders, but yeah, once that loan begins, it kind of just is the same flow, and the borrowers also get the liquidity fast. Interesting.
Yeah, I agree. But maybe they don't want to pay 200 Liquidium tokens, which doesn't make sense to me because we airdrop them. On the first airdrop, everyone got at least 200 tokens, and then the others were claims. So what did you do to the tokens we airdropped you?
Asking the real questions here.
Now we know what's dumping. Now we know what's dumping. Anyone not using instant loans, we know what's dumping. We definitely know who dumped. Yeah. So, yeah, just something else also. Recently we introduced the 30-day term on OMBs. That was part of an experiment because at least from our data we saw that long-term loans were doing quite well, and I'm just waiting for that to switch over to inscriptions. And something very interesting that they have been doing extremely well. 16 and 30-day loans have been doing the most volume. So you will see here OMB. This number of loans. What's the volume chart? I've got the volume chart. There you go. It's the volume chart. You will see here, this is the OMB 1 BTC, 0.8 BTC, and this is 1.2 BTC. So all the long terms actually, because the shortest we have is 5, have been doing quite well. So this is going to be interesting just to continue the experiment, but this has been very, very encouraging. Again, even if you look at here, they don't have a name because if I'm not mistaken, I'll just have to double check. This might be OTC loans. So again, you will see here 30-day loans doing extremely well. So we have had 16 and 30 days to be precise, 16 and 30 days. So we have had a trend where they're just doing well, and it will be interesting to see where that lands. But so far, it looks like there are people using those, which is encouraging. Yeah, we'll just keep an eye. But that's pretty positive. Yeah, again, if you look at the amount of liquidity available for MBs, a lot of liquidity available for MBs, only 3 BTC utilized, non-months, same thing. Again, this is always a good indicator because it literally means that there's someone longing. Because how I like to think about it is that lenders are the people who are longing the collection, and borrowers are the people who are shorting the collection. So you have a lot of confidence on the long positions, which definitely means that a lot of people are willing to scoop up those Ordinals for cheap from paper hands, which is cool.
Yeah, it's really good.
Man, you need to ask me. You need to ask me something, man, before I show these people our revenue dashboard, man.
No.
Press revenue.
Real quick. We have a quick question that I need to answer real quick for our friend in the chat here. He said, "What's a good first step? Been in crypto for a while, but I'm not familiar with Liquidium. Quick TLDR, Clay. Just get to you real quick. So Liquidium is a place where you can do lending and borrowing for Bitcoin assets. So an easy way for you to get involved would be to bring BTC over to the platform and do your due diligence and look at any Ordinals collections that you might like. For example, like Pizza Ninjas, OMBs, etc. Or if there's, you like tokens more so, any interesting tokens you might believe in, such as dog or whatever pups, and put your Bitcoin to work against some of those bags or the ordinal, and earn interest in Bitcoin on your Bitcoin. And in the worst case scenario, the borrower defaults on you and you get a bag or an ordinal that you actually like. So that would be my quick 2-minute jump in. Sorry to interrupt you,
Thank
there,
you,
Shudu.
Oh no, you gave me
that's
time.
fine.
You
That's
gave me
fine.
time to get my thoughts together. I appreciate that. You see,
No
this is what
problem.
happens.
Wait,
Buying
I had a
time.
question for you. Unless you got something first, go ahead.
No. Yeah, you can ask.
I was gonna ask if we can look at quantum cats specifically because I know they have the what's it called binding. What I forget the word that they're using,
Entangling?
entanglement
Yeah.
or something. Entangling, yeah. They have the entangling flow going on now, and the Wizards Mint is coming up on Saturday, I think.
I think it's
I'm
Monday.
pretty
I think
sure.
it's Monday.
And whenever Monday,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. But whenever there's a big mint, we always see a massive spike. Like I think the recent one was the OMB mint. Black. I wonder if people are going to use the quantum cats as leverage to be minting, but it's kind of not going to work for the entangling. So I don't know. I'm kind of confused and wondering how that's going to play out.
So something interesting happened with quantum cats. I think there was a tweet that went out from what's his name. He said
Udi?
it came from the official account. No, I think it was the official account. Was it Woody? Or maybe I'm
I
confusing
think
stuff.
so.
But I remember there was a tweet that said people need to have their quantum cash for
Yep.
something, and then they should not lend them out on Liquidium because they will be stuck in escrow. And when that tweet went out, the activity just dropped because that was coming from the collection itself. And since then, you can see here, not a lot of activity. 32 loans this week, 3 loans. Today, no loans at all. So I'm quite sure this is then because it happened, and since that happened, we just saw activity disappear. And I am quite confident that that was the tweet because Quantum Cash used to do very, very well, even on volume. So since then, you can see here, this week would be the lowest week. Last week, probably the second lowest or the lowest week also. So they used to do quite okay, but now it's just they've gone to the dogs pretty much. But I remember there was a tweet that came from the official account on
Yeah.
Twitter, and they had to clarify why they were saying that. But that's just what happened.
And then they rebutted and
So
said
yeah,
that they
people have
love
moved on.
us.
Yes.
Yeah,
From the
we feel
collection.
bad.
So since then, yes.
It's like, damn,
So
bro.
since then, there's just they actually fired their holders. They're like, don't use Liquidium. So yeah, well, it looks like I guess the holders listen because they stopped using Liquidium. Yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see if there are lenders who might not necessarily have quantum cash looking to scope them for cheap with a couple of offers here. So let me just have a look. That'll be interesting. But in terms of activity has dropped for a couple of weeks for quantum cash. Uh, okay.
Shouts out Jay in the crowd. Our boy Jay.
Who's out there? Mr. JJ?
Yes, sir. JJBTC, the one and only.
Oh, hey Jay,
Yes.
miss you, man. I didn't see him today. I saw him yesterday though.
Yeah, I was blessed to see him today.
Mr. Jumpy. Yeah, so this is from 10 March until 20 March. You will see that 1.5 BTC in volume. There's 2.2 BTC available from lenders, and there's just the days where that volume came from. Again, literally on 10 March, that's where most of the volume came from. And since then, you could even see days with no volume, which is just that. And this is very much in contrast with something like OMBs, as we're discussing, because OMBs, you see that on certain days, there are people who just come and they just like max borrow the shit out of it, and they just go and do whatever it is. So those are like the people who really use the platform. But again, I don't blame people from Quantum Cats, because if you get an announcement that you shouldn't use something, you might think there's something wrong with Liquidium, even though maybe the thing was escrow stuff, but we could deal with that. I mean, we've dealt with that with RSIC, I think. But anyway, let me not get caught in the politics and all that. But yeah, that's just what happened. I just want to show, for example, compared to OMBs, it's just
And I wonder if we can see if OMBs had like a dip before the mint, because I think it was something similar. They had like that
Jay in the
delay.
building.
Oh, Jay, what's up, man?
What's up? Just checking in. I love the show. I must sign off soon. But yeah, shout out to the whole Liquidium Lunch Club team. We're cooking.
Oh yeah, we cooking. We in the kitchen.
Lunch Club.
Good to have you up here, sir. Blessed with your face.
Oh yeah. Okay, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Much love.
Thanks, Jay.
That was,
Yeah,
that
so-
was a fire drop in, bro. Shouts out. That was fire.
Oh, love Jay. Goodbye.
Go ahead, shoot.
Yeah, so again, with OMBs, you can see here, just users just come in and max borrow. You can see here, most of the time it's one person who comes with like a couple of collaterals, and you can see this user came in and pumped 3 loans from 3 different lenders, and then this is what happened. But yeah, you can see here for some like OMBs, like those are the users that use the platform. And yes, there was a dip. What was interesting is that during that dip, there was one user who came and max borrowed like 4 or 5 BTC, because it was I think it was like 3 or 4 days before the black ice minted. And then my guess was that they were going to use that to mint the black ice, and they took all of them on 16 days. So they had like a very good amount of time so that the flow for black ice can fluctuate and they can see whether they're in profit or loss, which was super, super smart from the borrower. But yeah, we did see a massive dip and then recovery. Again, you can see people borrowing 0.7 BTC on OMBs and stuff. OMBs is a very, very healthy collection overall, like proper OG shit. And it's one of the collections that, if you come to Liquidium and you say you want that, if you've got money, OMB is probably the place to start. Because as a borrower or as a lender, you're going to find offers. As a lender, most of the time people are going to repay you. So yeah, it's a pretty cool collection to start off. Anyway, I think I'm done with my TED talk, unless what did I leave?
Jen asked if somebody has to shower to use Liquidium. Like,
you have to cook
Oh,
a sandwich and film yourself eating.
you gotta show us your
Lunch.
forks first, bro. You gotta show us how many forks you got.
Oh, you do gotta show us your forks, and if you have less than 20,
Oh yeah,
no.
yeah, they might be in water there. I
But
want to bring this.
as the open to shower.
Yes. I want to bring this conversation around a little bit. We talked about how Runes was on in the ordinal or original form on L1. It's been pretty dead, but Shudu, I don't know if you want to bring your screen back up and show Odin Fun. This will also bridge into our next topic, but it's been crazy to see in the last month. They've done over 3,000 Bitcoin in volume. And needless to I say, like, runes have been dead otherwise, but this spot has been a place for West and the East to meet, and they've been doing a lot of volume on these tokens. And at that, like, the tech that, Bob did use for this, we are utilizing for instant loans. So it's been cool to have him kind of front run us and, test the market and see how comfortable people are with, abstraction, as the conversation about scaling on Bitcoin has gone over the last couple years from people being completely opposed to it to now, we're doing 3,000 Bitcoin in volume in a month on, an ICP powered machine pretty much. So I would love to hear, your guys' thoughts on this whole market, Odin Fun, the tech. Yeah, we have a few Odin runes live on here, and I probably don't even need to preach to the choir, but we're doing that music infusion project with Starship on my end, and we are live on there, so it's cool to see. Snoop Toshi's behind Pep Odins. He's doing a lot of different tooling. He has like a cool 2D image to 3D video tool. It's really cool. Check that out. Mario Odin's created like a Mario game. I believe they're even rehashing Mario 64, quote unquote. You didn't hear that here. But yeah,
Oh,
some
that's sick.
cool projects happening on Odin Fun. So it's not just meme coins. Even Diego from Bitflow has Blinch, and I can just let a little alpha out. He and I are talking with some of these other builders, and as Starship has made some community collaborations, we're cooking up something a little bit more grand to unite the builders that are utilizing Odin Fun here soon. So we're probably gonna announce something more around like Vegas time, but yeah, I'll let that be there. But yeah, let me stop my TED talk and let me hear you guys' thoughts.
Yeah, best
Um,
part has been the unification, I think, for me. The best part is, you have East and West finally unified on one trading platform, and the volume they've gotten, I call that product market fit. You know what I mean? So we have to see if it's sustainable. Obviously, I'm bullish. I think it will be, but the the unification of people all coming together, we can now trade in one place. And on the timeline, I always see a lot of like some people are hyping it up, some people are complaining about bugs. But to be honest, that's a good problem to have for a product. Like if people are complaining, that means people are using it to the point where they want it to improve, and it's gonna take a little bit of time for the builders, for Bob the builder. to
Bob the Builder. Oh, look at that! Starship got a little
take
movement there. Okay, yeah, he's
you
cool.
know,
I know you've
but
been animate on
yeah,
helping him with some of these features and stuff. So again, like, what do you think about the rollout of like the iterations of even the platform and how it's continued to make the experience what it's become?
yeah. Early on, I was definitely a big QA tester for sure, like in the beginning. Um, and then it really just took off, and everybody took that on. So it's good to see.
Yeah.
Again, that's a really good problem to have. But I like, they keep pushing things like every single week. I don't think Bob is really about being transparent about where they are in moments. Um, so I admire that, and I think that I'm, like everybody, I just cannot wait for the OG Rune and then to come live. So I'm just beyond excited for those. I think that's gonna be a huge pick for the market. I mean, we'll see. I don't got a crystal ball, but I don't know. I'm excited for those. It's kind of what people have been wanting for a long time.
Yeah, I think it's gonna unlock a lot of movement. As right now, some people are still kind of stuck in the OG way, haven't touched Odin Fun. They'd still rather have, buy a Magic Eden, that kind of a thing. But I feel like that is becoming less and less more of the majority. And, once there is those experience for other runes on Odin Fun, and as more liquidity comes in, um, I think it's just kind of a no-brainer from like, if you're running it like a project, from a standpoint of going to where the motion is and where the lack of friction is, right? It's the most easy way to do those things. So, yeah, I think once those are unlocked and there's dog and pups and everything is on there and moving and people are going between different projects and more freely able to hold what they want to hold, when they want to hold it. I think it's just going to be better for everybody involved in the platform and just the ecosystem. Because, as it is right now, people can shit on token standards. I mean, you can pick one or the other, BRC20 or runes or whatever, your ups and downs with both. But Bob is talking about even bringing BRC20s to here. So you're talking about a platform that's agnostic to the token standard and bringing you a clean, experience. It's going to help every community and everybody involved with that, in my opinion, and on both the project side and the more retail side of things, whether you're wanting to be you're trading in and out, or whether you're buying and holding whatever amounts to be a part of a club or whatever the fuck it is. It's easier this way than doing rune bundles and going on X, Y, or Z, and the liquidity is not there. And if you want to sell anything, it moves in a day or it doesn't or whatever. Like you never know. So yeah, I agree with you completely. And I think that's also another interesting segue to like us. Bob's talked a lot about like doing upgrades with various partners. He's talked about working with Magic Eden and making their experience better. I guess that might be some alpha if people haven't heard him say that yet. He also has been talking about having like Solana and other EVM compatible swap into Bitcoin on within Odin Fun to try to give more tool sets for liquidity within Odin Fund and build Odin into like a one-stop shop platform. And we talked with him a few times about the possibilities of what we could do together, as we have implemented the same type of tech. So I don't know, Pete, if you want to speak to that a little bit, but that is something interesting there, as he is looking to bring more ways to unlock liquidity and loans and things like that to Odin Fun, as we talked about with him yesterday and Diego and the Bitflow show.
Yeah, that space was really fire too. I was eavesdropping. I always like jump around in anonymous mode, so you didn't see me, but I was there. I heard that part too. That was good. Yeah, I think from the way that Bob talks about it and the way that like you speak about it.
Your audio is falling out like, pretty bad.
Oh, is it? There might be a plane over me. Is that why? How about
You need to give yourself a raise and get a better microphone. No.
Big time. Is it any better now, or is it not better?
Yeah, better now.
Okay, let me know if it changes. I'll just take out my headphones. I thought they would be the best. But well, yeah, no, from the way that Bob kind of communicates things, it seems like he really wants to build like an Odin ecosystem, and I'm sure he's even called it that a couple times. So kind of like a way for you to have I'm not sure if he means like an all-in-one platform where everything is just plugged in there, which would be pretty sick for the users, or even just a way for people to like build off of Odin, where you can go to other platforms, but it's just like the coins are launching here, and then from there, it pretty much just goes anywhere, to any tool you have, whether that's like, I don't know, like a staking tool in the future, whether that's Liquidium, for example, and you can just borrow directly from Odin. So yeah, so either way, I think things are going to be for sure interesting and for sure good to the space, because, I think the best part about all of this and the main vision behind Odin has always been people should be trading meme coins Bitcoin, or like the meme coin should be denominated in Bitcoin. We want more users from other ecosystems to be holding Bitcoin, because that's granddaddy right there. I think it's good for all that.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, I just also want to add on this, because I think we all know the big promise of runes was all the obstacles of having to reinscribe PRC20 and all that stuff. Sure, that was a problem that was solved, but like you're saying, you still found yourself trading runes like they're very much NFTs. because it doesn't matter if it's up to 2, 3, 8 decimals. But if I can sell a point decimal when I want to, and I always have to bunch them up, that was never realized, and that decimal is not really a decimal unless you're lucky or something like that. But like with Odin Fun, what it really unlocks is that granularity in terms of trading. Because now they really feel like I am trading a fungible thing. I'm trading a fungible token at this point in time. And I think for me, that's like something that's like a massive, massive unlock. Because like one problem I always said is that if you go to, I don't know, the other secondary dexes, someone could come in with one BTC of dog and then just drop the price of dog for the next X amount of hours, and you can't do nothing. I think there was a point where they tried to fix it by limiting how much you can list, but then still someone could come in with that exact maximum and then they just sit on that floor. And with something like Odin Fund, it really solves that. And I really like the fact that most of this, they are not really utilizing CK BTC. I think Pete can speak more on this, but they're just really utilizing um, I don't know if it's an agent that signs for you, if that's the best way to put it, in the canister and stuff like that. So for me, it's like it's still very much like Bitcoin related, but with especially for us, I mean, with Odin it could be different because they want the speed and stuff. Maybe they're custodying something, but especially for us with instant loans. So I really find stuff like that pretty interesting. And I think it's just a positive for the space. Now you've got Casey today talking about possibly bringing AMMs to L1, which I'm bullish about. Let's fucking go. But I think also that's the same problem that Bob has actually solved. And if multiple people are solving the same problem, why not? Fuck yeah. So I really like that. I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And at the same time too, somebody asked me this earlier, but I mean, also we know that Bob is very in touch with everything that goes on in these Ord updates and whatnot. And if anyone were to utilize parts of the update to make his experience even better, I think it would be him. So Pete, I want to ask you, how, from your perspective, has the journey with utilizing ICP been, from the dev side of things, making instant loans happen, and also what are your thoughts on the Ord 1.0 proposal?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think for a long time, we all kind of knew Liquidium's limitations in the beginning, and it was, basically because of the limited tools and limited programmability on Bitcoin. And for a really long time, we spent lots of hours researching what would be the best solution. Um, we looked into like other sign transaction
Your
implementations.
audio's getting low again.
Oh, it's that plane. Yeah, the plane's flying over me.
This boy is in an
We're
air
gonna turn
zone.
off my.
We call this boy
I
Fly
know,
Boy
let me
right
see.
here. It's a Fly Boy.
It should be better now. I think they're gone.
Okay, yep, good, yep.
But yeah, let me know. Let me know if it cuts out again. Um, but yeah, we just spent lots of time researching different ways to make new use cases. We kind of reached the limitation of what the UX can be, and still we were able to do so much activity, so much volume, and many like users found it useful even with the limitations that we had. Um, and now you kind of see that, of course, there's the push for like upgrading Bitcoin, and that's definitely like I think the right way to do it. Of course, it comes with other risks, but like really that's like the right way to add programmability. It's on the base layer, it's baked in. Um, but that's going to take time, right? That's going to take a lot of time for these proposals to be reviewed. Yeah, another plane coming, so let me know if it comes down. But yeah, it's gonna take time for them to figure out which one's the best option, which one might have risks here or there. And hopefully we do get an upgrade. I think it'll be super exciting to see, and this might be like the biggest change that Bitcoin has ever had, honestly, as far as what it can do for users. Um, so we just side note, we just live in a really exciting time, I think, in Bitcoin history. That's super awesome. It's super, we should all feel blessed to be here. I know I do. But, otherwise, like people don't want to wait for these upgrades. So there's been so much experimentation and ideation around other ways to do things, and that's kind of what like ICP has explored. Is just what if we, kind of bake it into our blockchain as is, and it's essentially, these signers on the IC network are partaking in adding this programmability feature, and that's basically exactly how other platforms like Near and Arch Network are building things. Like at the root of it, it's really all the same. Um, and so it does kind of bring, like Shudu was saying, like this bridgeless feature where you don't really need to wrap. Like the Bitcoin is still Bitcoin moving over, and it kind of removes that single point of failure, which is the bridge. So that's a huge improvement, I think, as is. Um, and we just gotta wait and see what other implementations there are to come about this.
I haven't
But yeah,
had
for us, like it's yeah,
I was
good.
gonna say I haven't had the full time to fully dive into the ins and outs of the new order update. How I guess we have a question in the crowd about what is the timeline of that upgrade, um, but also how does it differ? I guess from like OpCap.
Yeah, timeline wise, we can't speak on it. I watched the Hell Money podcast where they spoke about it, so I saw that like the first release is going to be a little bit limited. But long term, there's a lot of features that Casey wants to add, and um, so really what it's doing is it's kind of like I kind of want to call it like self custody smart contracts. Is the way it works is you are literally like you're running the node, you're running well, it's not really a node, but you're running software, which is basically just a wallet for you, and it signs on your behalf, and you can kind of like program this wallet to do what you want. So for the first example is I want to sell this much rune at this
So it's
price,
basically an agent.
and it's basically an agent. Yeah, that's where the term comes from. It really is just like this thing is doing it for you. So it's kind of like a good mental model to have. And the big thing that it would eliminate for runes is then you don't have bundles. Bundles are gone, and now this agent can go ahead and sign for you. Where like you do, there's a different level of trust because this is maybe not trust, but a different level of security because this agent does need to live somewhere connected to the internet with its own private keys, right? So you definitely don't want to put like all of your stuff onto the agent. It's more of like a, temporary if I'm trying to sell or buy things. That's what I can use it for. And honestly, this is like I think it's a really good way to approach the problem because like I said, it's kind of like self-custodial smart contracts, which is a really unique and interesting way to do things. And the thing is, like anybody could have built this before, like even like we've thought about building something similar before, but you kind of need to build like a whole protocol around it almost, so it's easy for others to build off of it if that's what you want.
So baking it in the
Casey already
org
has
makes sense. Yeah, because people already
baking
run
into
org.
org just makes a lot of sense. Yeah, exactly. Like exactly, it just makes it a lot of sense. I think it's the cleanest way to do it if we are going to do it. So I'm hype about it. I think it'll be cool. The question is, will people actually run these? And I think for sure. The question is how many people, but I think for sure people will run it because the Ordinals, ecosystem is really passionate about its own Bitcoin, which is a huge point, and that's what they want. They want to keep it on Bitcoin, and this is really the best way to do it.
I don't know if
Of course,
this
again,
is too
there are the security
forward
changes.
thinking and
Okay.
too much alpha, but is there implementations that could potentially help our customer or user experience with Liquidium with this kind of update grade?
I got a plane coming. But
Gotta catch another plane.
yeah, no,
Goddamn.
absolutely. Yeah, I'm too close to the airport. But absolutely, because we could basically use it in the same way that Instaloan works, where a lender is, putting their BTC that they want to lend onto this agent, and then the agent can then sign to start the loan for them. So yeah, basically it would work for that use case as well. And um, I'm not really sure. Or no, yeah, I think that's what he meant. So the limitation is kind of how it begins, like what rules the agent can abide by to sign a transaction. And I think Casey's called them policies.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think we need to wait until there are some for uh no, I think the first iteration would work actually. Like if it's just like we want to sell, quote unquote, this BTC, we should be able to verify, okay, it's going to this address, which is the escrow. I'm receiving this much BTC, and the ordinal is going there. So I think it should work on maybe the first iteration actually.
That's kind of crazy.
I I I got a last question. Also I need to jump and go gym because Liquidium stresses me too much. But I got one more question. Would this allow? Would this allow? At least everyone is laughing here. When I say these jokes to my woman, I laugh alone. I'm very happy that everybody's laughing here. Um, 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 I want to ask, would this allow an opportunity for something like instant liquidation? Let's say, for example, as a lender, you now don't need to claim and liquidate because you've got this, rules and AMM stuff that's built baked in. Maybe it could be that, when a borrower gets liquidated, you can instantly liquidate that collateral and make up your percentage difference between the TVL and whatever you loaned them. That could be interesting.
Yup, no, that's a great idea. You totally could do that too, basically. Yeah, you totally could do that. Sign and then instant like list, basically. Like liquidate and then instantly list it for sale right away. And maybe like you said, like predefined outcomes. Like if it's a liquidated at 50%, I want to sell it for 75% LTV or whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Interesting.
Nice.
So it
Super,
doesn't sound like
super exciting time.
this doesn't like weigh into the pools thing, does it? Or would it unlock more of that? Or would that be more like OpCat kind of like Bitcoin wide upgrade
Yeah.
needed? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I think it'd be more OpCat. Like because like Casey mentioned like AMMs for this, and it's like I don't think it's AMMs in the traditional sense. It's kind of like if there's enough people who are using this to like buy and sell, and you kind of have an AMM,
Mm-hmm.
but not really in the traditional sense where you can like provide liquidity, earn a yield. It's much more like, do you want to participate in the AMM with the funds that you have to make the market and make it more fluid? That's kind of how it would be, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes complete sense. We had one question in the chat here. Do you think they will do limit orders on Odin instead of just market orders? I would think so personally. I feel like Bob wants to have all those
Yeah,
features.
I think so. He wants everything, which
Oh
is
yeah. Oh yeah, we like that.
which is good. I think it's coming.
Give me an auto DCA
I think it's just
feature.
a matter. Yeah, yeah. I think it's just a matter of priorities and
Yeah.
his dev team. I know he mentioned he's always trying to scale the dev team, so that's also good to hear.
Ooh, well, if anyone's looking
We
for
want
an
more developers in
opportunity,
the space.
if you're a dev looking for an opportunity, go, go bark up that
Oh,
tree.
yep. Wait, hit us up first though, actually.
Hey, actually, no. Hold on, real quick.
Hold on.
Well, do you guys have any further questions? Are there any questions in the Discord there, Pete?
No, I don't think I've seen any. I think we answered all of them.
Okay, cool, cool, cool.
Yo, all set. Cool.
Dope. Well, this has been an awesome show. I'm glad to be back. We've been gone for a few weeks. Probably actually been close to a month now.
Yeah,
3 weeks to a month.
true.
A lot going on, but
That's true.
you
But
know.
yeah, we are gonna kick it up a lot more.
Oh
So
yeah.
we'll be much more consistent going forward. So everybody should keep an eye out. We're gonna try to do a lot more.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh, me too, me too, and especially I mean, it's already about to be April. It's crazy, and then, we have, personally, I'll be at Consensus in May, and then I'll be in Vegas in May. You'll be in Vegas. There's shit going on, man. Like, Ordinals LA is next month. There's all kind of stuff going on. The space doesn't sleep, and neither do we.
Not at all. Not at all, dude. Not at all. This is what we've been building for this summer.
You
So
got that right. I'm stoked.
yeah, the whole space. Not even just us. The whole space.
You got that right. Well, it's been real, y'all. Thank you for stopping in for another Liquidium Lunch Club. We'll see you guys next Thursday at noon Eastern for another check-in. We love you all, and peace.
Let's go.